Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Old and In the Way comedy podcast where we fight ageism one bad joke at a time. Today's episode is a tribute to Kip Addotta, who exploded onto the comedy scene in the 1980s. He was a frequent guest on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I met Kip in 1984 when I was bartending at the Punchline in San Francisco, and he had this one bit called Wet Dream that floored me. So without further ado, here's my rendition of Wet Dream by Kip Addotta. The other day I was driving in downtown Atlantis in a rented Stingray. My Barracuda was in the shop for overheating, so while it was being fixed, I walked over to this place called the Oyster Bar, a real dive. But I knew the owner. He used to play for the Dolphins, so I walked in and said, "Hi, Gil." You have to yell, he's hard of hearing. Gil was down on his luck. He was barely keeping his head below water. So I bellied up to the sandbar and ordered as usual, please, a rusty snail, shaken not stirred, with a peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich on the side. Heavy on the mackerel. I slipped him a fin on porpoise. I even put a sand dollar in the box for Jerry squids. For the halibut. Well, the place was crowded. We were packed in like sardines. Everyone there was listening to the big band sounds of Tommy Dorsal. What Soul? Tommy was rocking the place with a very popular tuna, salmon, chanted evening. And the stage was surrounded by screaming groupers, probably there to see the bass player. One of them was this cute little yellowtail who kept giving me the eye. So I figured this is my chance for a little fun, a little piece of Pisces. But she said things I just couldn't fathom. She seemed too deep, under a lot of pressure. Boy, could she drink. She drank a lot. I said, "What's your sign?" She said, "Aquarium." I said, "Great, let's get tanked." I invited her up to my place for a little midnight bait. I said, "Come on, baby, this'll only take a few minutes." And she threw me the same old line, "Not tonight, I've got a haddock." She wasn't kidding either, because in came the biggest, meanest looking haddock I've ever seen come down the pike. He was covered with muscles. You could see the anchor in his eyes. He turns to me and says, "Listen, shrimp, don't come crawling around here." What a crab. This guy was steamed. You could see the anchor in his eyes. So I turned to him and said, baloney, you're just being shellfish." All of a sudden he eels back, throws a sucker punch, but I catch him with a left hook, and there he is, lying on the deck, flat as a mackerel, kelpless. I said, "Forget the cods, Gil. This guy's going to need a sturgeon." Well, needless to say, the yellowtail was impressed with the way I landed her boyfriend. She comes over to me and says, "Hey, you're really a game fish. What's your name?" I said, "Marlin." Well, from then on, we had a whale of a time. I took her to dinner. I took her to dance. Then I bought her a bouquet of flowers. What did I get for my troubles? The crabs. I got the damn crabs all over my body. Not a good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my rendition of Wet Dream by Kip Addotta. Thanks for checking out the show. Hope to see you next episode, and all the best.